Peace, family. Welcome to the first episode of Supreme Transformation. I am your host, Supreme Confidence. Today, I will be discussing what this podcast is mainly going to be about, giving you an introduction. So before I go ahead and get started, let me say to make sure you like, subscribe, and share this podcast. Or if you know anyone who may need to hear these messages, share this with someone. So to go ahead and get started, let me give you an introduction about myself. My name is Supreme Confidence. I'm at the age of 30. I'm from Chicago, Illinois. Born and raised in Chicago, urban area where all this shit takes place at. You know what I'm talking about, where all them rappers and shit at, where all the drill shit be happening at. Well, I'm from over that way. And let me be real honest. I didn't know how to start this podcast off. I didn't know what exactly I was gonna say to people, or how people was gonna take this message. So I gotta keep starting this podcast all over and over again. My throat keeps getting raspy, where I gotta keep drinking water. And I gotta keep pausing and keep starting and keep restarting this podcast over. I done start this podcast over like about 20 times already, week after week. I'm just giving you some transparency about me. I'm being transparent right now. You know, and it took time for me to start this podcast because I never knew who was going to either listen to this podcast, or who was going to find this podcast, or who this podcast was going to reach. So I'm from Chicago, Illinois, born and raised, and I had a lack of confidence. I didn't learn how to ride a bike up until like the age of 18. I didn't learn how to tie my shoe until I was about 11 or 12, between one of them ages. My confidence was so bad, I'm 6 feet. And when I used to try to play basketball and me trying to get better at myself, me being critiqued, me being talked about very badly, it wound up discouraging me. So I never really tend to even try to even get better at basketball. Matter of fact, when I'm playing basketball, or when somebody's like, telling me or asking me, to play basketball with them, I don't even join. Because I'm just that bad at it. I come from a family where they have lack of confidence within themselves. I come from a family where they tear each other apart on both sides of my family. The only person who really speaks life into the family is maybe one of my uncles on my father's side. Everybody else don't have it in them. My mother's side of the family, they're terrible people at speaking life into people. They tear each other apart. They tore me apart. I remember a story my great-grandma mom told me about my great-grandmother when she said that she wanted to be a veterinarian, which is a person who works with animals, injuries and sickness and things of that nature. And my great-grandmother laughed at her and said, "You're never going to become that. You need to go and do something else, but you're never going to become that." Nobody on the side of my family loved themselves at all. My great-grandmother, who was pretty much brought up into the segregation days, all she know is the word nigger. That's all she ever called me. Whenever she got mad at me, it was always nigger. Nigger this, nigger that. This is raw and uncut for anyone who decides to watch this podcast. This is raw and uncut truth. So viewer discretion is advised. But that's all my great-grandmother ever called me, was a nigger. Told me I wasn't gonna be nothing but one of these boys out here in the streets, and I was gonna experience jail and all of that. And I am one out of the two brothers I have. I have a stepbrother and I have a younger brother. Younger brother who doesn't know any direction to go in life. And I'm the only person who ain't been in jail. I went a long time without believing in myself. I let a lot of people walk over me. I let a lot of people put me down. It all starts with your family. A lot of times, when the child is getting bullied and things of that nature, it's usually coming from home. The child is usually, being bullied at home. You ain't gonna be shit like your daddy. You ain't gonna be shit but a banger. You ain't gonna be shit but this, that, and the other. So in Chicago, I grew up without a father. I grew up with a very independent black woman, my mother, who did the best she could. No love lost with her. And I grew up not knowing who the fuck I was. I grew up not knowing anything about myself. I grew up not knowing that I was supposed to have confidence. Confidence was something that I really, really, really lacked. I got bullied in high school. I got bullied in grammar school. I suffer from approach anxiety. I suffer from depression. I remember when I used to be in grammar school and everybody used to always be like, "Yo, like, why you look so sad?" Me not knowing that I was sad. I'm talking about everybody used to say this about me. Everybody. I could not explain it. It was crazy. Being in Chicago and being like the only brother, damn near the eldest brother, trying to learn how to defend yourself, not knowing how to defend yourself out here. It took a lot on me. It wore me down. It brought me down. You know, being picked on. My little brother being picked on. And me wanting to do something about it. But if I do something about it, here come this whole people, this whole group of people that's finna take on who's finna fight me, all due to the fact that I'm trying to defend my little brother. All due to the fact that I'm trying not to get punked out here. Like Ashton Kutcher do to people. Punked. Punk meaning that people just do what they want to do to you, and you don't, and if you do something about it, they're gonna try to check you. Yo, I'm talking about in Chicago. I'm not gonna lie. This picture that you see sitting behind me right here, it's a symbol of something. For one, it's just one of my spiritual animals. And it symbolizes the things that I went through in life, such as wolves. The world is full of wolves, and being in Chicago, I learned that it's full of wolves out here. And if you're one of those individuals who are lacking in confidence or knowing who the fuck you are, people gonna run right over you. Wolves are going to eat. And they don't care about they don't care about individuals or people who don't know who they are. So being raised in Chicago, it took a toll on me. I just recently moved out here to Columbia, Maryland. It's okay. It ain't too bad. It's a step up from Chicago. I will say that. I like to call this place Pleasantville, because it's not like something that it's not something that I grew up in. You know, this was supposed to be a place that I was supposed to have been, but I got beat the fuck up in Chicago. I got really beat the fuck up in Chicago. I done had experiences where guns pointed up to me if I defended myself. I done been in points where if I try to defend myself and I'm fighting just one person, and I could be winning the fight. Yo. Now here comes this group of people, the wolves. Here come the wolves. I went a lot of days not knowing who I was. I just had a daughter 5 months ago. You know, and it took a very long time to figure out who I was. So that's what majority of this podcast is about. Not just building your confidence, but taking all this shit that you've been through, all the depression, all the anxiety, everything that you've ever been through, everything that you've ever been through. And now you got to go back and heal that. You know, I always tell people, if you can survive in Chicago, you can survive anywhere. And what it taught me was not to take shit from anyone. Stand your ground, hold your own, and fight. And fight to the end. Fight to the end. We live in a world where bullying, suicide, depression, anxiety is at an all-time high. It's at an all-time high. And not having people to care for you can really bring you down low. I had to learn how to be tough and fight through this shit. I had to learn how to be tough and stand my own ground. I had to get slapped up a few times, yo. So I didn't grow up without a father. I had to learn how to become this man on my own. I had to go back and I had to forgive a lot of people from the shit that they did to me back when I was younger, back when I was picked on, back when people said hurtful things and shit like that. And me, now I gotta go back. Now I had to go back and heal all of this shit so that I would not transfer this shit to my daughter. But I do speak up on it. And this right here is a part of therapy. This is like therapy to me. Because maybe, just maybe, somebody may need to hear this. Just maybe somebody needs to hear this. Watch to the end because I'm going to give you tips on how to improve your self-confidence as well. So I lacked in confidence. And one of the reasons why I lacked in confidence was because my mother didn't speak life into me. I remember at the age of 13 walking down the street with groceries in our hand. We didn't have a car. So we're walking to the grocery store. Then we come back and walking back from the grocery store on the way to our home. And me, it was actually a lot of people outside. And, you know, my muscles were tired. So I accidentally tripped over my feet or tripped over a rock or I tripped over something. And I accidentally messed up all the groceries I'm talking about. It was like glass in this jar. Glass in this jar. It was like glass in this bag. And the look on my mother's face was like, I know damn well you ain't break this shit. So she looked inside of the bag. When I say she snapped the fuck out. She went ahead and said, that's why your motherfucking ass is 13. You don't even know how to ride a bike. Shattered my confidence. And everybody who was outside was just looking at me like, damn, you don't know how to ride no bike. Man, yo, I remember the other day, I was thinking about how my cousins and them used to ride bikes and shit. And what I would, they would ride around the block. You know what I would do? I would, as they were riding their bikes around the blocks, I would jog, like run with them, trying to catch up and shit. Trying to keep up with the bikes. Going through alleys and shit. It was crazy. All due to the fact that I lacked in confidence. Man, yo, my confidence was bad. It's terrible. So, yeah, I grew up in Chicago, where it's pretty harsh out there. It's just pretty fucking harsh out there. And you gotta know who the fuck you are when you out here in this world. You gotta know exactly who the fuck you are, because this world out here will bring you down. Your environment will bring you down. I mean, you gotta know who you are, just like that. You gotta know who you are. You gotta love who you are. You gotta love yourself like Tony Braxton say, I love me some him. You gotta love yourself like that. Like I said, depression and suicide and anxiety is at an all-time high. Damn near everybody experienced this shit. They experience a lack of confidence in something. They experience depression somewhere in their life. People experience low self-esteem in something. People experience insecurity in something. People experience approach anxiety in something. You know what I'm talking about? And we want to transform into this. We want to transform into this higher being. We're supposed to transform into this magnificent person. The person who's supposed to be unstoppable. I wish somebody would tell me something about myself. You got to be willing to deal with the shadow you. You got to be willing to embrace the shit out of the shadow you. I understand out here when you're being picked on. I used to get picked on all the fucking time in school. All the fucking time in school. I remember one incident where this dude was talking, where he was like the big time bully in school, in grammar school and shit. He's in front of me and talking to one of his boys and shit, and said, I can do whatever the fuck I want to do. And slapped me in the face. I wound up slapping his ass back, and he came back and slapped me and started laughing like, Eddie, do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? And then I let his ass walk off. Ain't do shit after that. He had a little entourage with him and shit. I remember one time being picked on. And me trying to defend myself. And shit like that. And then wind up getting suspended from school. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? Man, hell no. This is why I say we got to get our fucking confidence together. We got to know who the fuck we are. This wolf out here, this wolf right here is letting you know it's wolves out here in this motherfucking world. And we need to get shit right the fuck together. I didn't say do any motherfucking harm. I just said don't take no shit. We gotta learn how to deal with that dark side, and we gotta know when to bring out that motherfucking dark side. And take no shit from absolutely nobody. That go for family, that go for friends, that go for lovers, that go for any fucking body that tries to sit up there and dim your light or bring you down due to the fact that your shit shines brighter than they shit. Like I tell people, you gotta get to the point where, you feel me? You gotta get to the point where I'm not sitting up there being more digestible. I'm not shrinking myself to be more digestible for somebody to make them more comfortable. You need to get to the point where you can fucking choke respectfully. You feel me? It's full of wolves out here, and god damn it, you gotta become a wolf out here too. You gotta know when to fight back. Not fight back as in, you know what I'm saying, becoming that bully that was bullying you. It has to be more so a defense mechanism. This supreme transformation, yo, and we gotta transform into being a better individual, knowing how to deal with our angers, knowing how to manage and master our emotions, giving one another respect and things of that nature, not taking shit from nobody, you know, always speaking life into ourselves, speaking life into our children is what the fuck we gotta do, is what the fuck we must do out here. You feel me? I understand what it's like, people, when brothers, when you have approach anxiety and you want to talk to that girl and shit like that, but you're scared. It's your anxiety that's taking over. Your heart is just all of a sudden, it's just pumping. I still go through this shit still to this day. Still to this day. To this day. You know what I'm talking about? I understand when it's like when you want to approach that woman, and the very moment you approach her, your words get tired, your mouth is all cotton and shit like that. You got all the right words in your motherfucking mind, but the shit won't even fucking come out. Yo, we live out here in a war, yo. People, we live out here. We are out here. This is a war we're in. We are literally in a war with ourselves. If we don't have confidence, that's an aspect of a war. And you got to know how to take it from the lowest that you have, or from wherever you're at with your confidence. You got to take it to the top notch out here. Your shit must, your light must be so bright as the sun. As the sun is, every time I fucking drive out here, the sun is bright as fuck. I mean, bright as fuck. It's easy as hell to get into an accident out here. That's how bright the fucking sun is. It's like it slows up traffic out here. Every time I'm on, you know, I'm like in northern eastern where I live, Columbia, Maryland, and the sun shines fucking bright. Every time I go outside and drive for work, your sun gotta be like that. Your sun, your light has to be like that. If people can't take you, tell them, hey, get the fuck on. Facts. I understand when it's like when you're trying to tell something to your parents and trying to explain something to your parents that they said to you, that they said something to you that was hurtful. and things of that nature, and they tell you to like brush it off, all due to the fact that they had to brush it off. That's not breaking a fucking generational curse, y'all. We gotta become this power. We must all become this powerful being. Each and every last one of us. At times you gotta be the wolf. Don't get me wrong. I understand that people out here, you know, like I said, we all got these spiritual animals and things of that nature. And something that I learned is that you can have more than one spiritual animal. But at times you gotta be the wolf out here. You gotta, hey, you ain't coming over here running. You're not coming over here shining. You're not coming over here dimming my motherfucking light. You're not doing it. And I won't let you. Like I said, not too long ago, just a couple of days ago, on my social media account, people only do what you allow them to do. All it takes is one time for them to do something, and the moment that you don't check them on it, they're going to continuously keep doing it, because in the back of their mind, subconsciously and consciously, it was a test, and they wound up saying, oh, I can get over this person right here. Like I said, you gotta know when to wolf. You gotta know when to wolf. Not just wolf and howl all fucking day. You gotta know when this shit stops here. It stops here. You know what I'm talking about? We ain't got time to be taking shit from people who want to sit up there and test us. Like I said, 9 times out of 10, when a person sitting up there trying you, it's a test. Just to see if they can get away with it. That's why the average person tests you. Just to see if you're going to check them. Women, 9 times out of 10, test you just to see if you are the man that you say that you are. And then you got men out here who try you just to see that, oh, you're that person that you say that you are. And sometimes, and a lot of times, you gotta show people that you motherfucking study when they test you. So absolutely, we gotta learn to take this confidence where if our confidence is low, it must be at an all-time high. Our confidence must be at an all-time high. Because depression, mental health, the mental health out here is at an all-time high. Telling you who to call. I understand what it's like when you're depressed and you just want to sleep all fucking day fucking long because it is an escape. Drinking, smoking, all of that shit helps you cope with this shit. But overall, it does damage people. I'm speaking from experience. It does more damage. So here are 3 tips. Matter of fact, I'm going to make it 5. 5 tips on ways to boost your confidence. Number 1, is that you want to really take a break from processed foods, processed sugars, and you want to detox. And when you detox, you can do a colon cleanse, because just eating fruits and vegetables, that's not a detox. That's not a detox. You want to do a colon cleanse, and when you cleansing, or your liver, And your liver, what that does, it helps. You know, you need your liver. And you know, it's a very important part of the body. When you detox and cleanse your organs, such as your liver, that helps cleanse the blood. So you want to do more so like a parasite cleanse, because we all have, each and every last one of us, we all have parasites inside of our bodies. I'm not going to get in too much detail about, you know, how to cleanse the liver and, you know, what the liver can do and things of that nature. But I'm just pretty much giving you tips on what you need to do as far as boosting your confidence. But I really highly suggest a lot of people get into detoxing. Detox. Just leaving processed sugars alone and processed foods, and eating less restaurant foods gradually. And these things help over time when you're doing it consistently. Because a lot of this shit is trial and error. Take it from me. It is trial and error. But the one thing that I learned is that you want to make sure that you take detox seriously as fuck. Then you want to feed your body fruits and vegetables. You want to, after you detox, because that's going to get rid of not just the parasites and all the bad shit inside of your body and things of that nature. That is also going to, you want to also, you know, it is also going to get rid of the minerals inside of your body as well. And you want to add a lot of fruits and vegetables. Berries is number one. Blueberries, organic blueberries, preferably. But if not, I would recommend just getting regular berries. But you definitely want to get your berries in. You definitely want to get your green leafy foods, spinach, kale, fucking cucumbers. These things that contain a lot of alkaline water. You want to eat your water, ladies and gentlemen. That's number one that you want to do. Let me run that back. You want to gradually leave the processed foods and the processed sugars. Your breads, even if you stop eating the cookies and the donuts and the cakes and things of that nature, you want to take a break from the breads. A lot of this shit contains, you know, a lot of sugar when you start to read the ingredients on the back of the label. Then you want to detox. Find you a colon cleanse or a parasite cleanse. A good one that will help clean parasites is Blue Vervain. I will literally go over the benefits more so when in more episodes inside of this podcast. But Blue Vervain is a definitely, you know, it will help you. It will help your confidence overall. Number 2 is working out. Working out. When you work out, it builds dopamine inside of the brain. Because over time, when you're working out, you begin to feel good as you begin to see results. Let somebody tell you, dang, you getting big. It's gonna feel good. You're gonna start flexing all of a sudden, just like, yeah, I know I know I'm getting cut up, or girl, I think my butt getting big or some shit like that. You feel me? You gonna start feeling good about yourself. You gonna start feeling magnificent about yourself. You know, over time as you work out and you begin to see results and people telling you that you look good, like, girl, are you losing weight? You're gonna be like, damn, they noticing. That shit gonna boost your confidence overall. Man, it's gonna take trust me. Trust me. 3. Is taking breaks, cutting back off gradually from nicotine, such as your cigarettes, Black and Milds, which tobacco was something that I had a huge problem with, and alcohol. Consuming too much alcohol. Alcohol may give you confidence temporarily. It does relieve your depression temporarily. It does relieve your anxiety temporarily. These things have temporary, when doing these things have temporary benefits. You know, you become a whole different person, depending on who that person is, depending on who you are. You become a different type of person when you have this liquor. It gives you supreme confidence temporarily. You know, people like you when you're, you know, under the influence and things of that nature. But these things have long-term effects. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, we live in a world where depression is at an all-time high. And that is literally due to alcohol consumption. Alcohol, it drains you, it makes you lethargic, meaning it makes you very sluggish, very slow. You think slower, drains your energy, makes you very tired. You don't want to do anything. Besides, people when they're in depression, they usually turn to either medication or some type of some sort of drug, whether it be prescribed or over the counter, or they're consuming alcohol. So you definitely want to take a break from that. So that was 3. Number 4, getting you some sleep. Getting you some sleep. This helps because when you get yourself some sleep, a lot of us, we lack, you know, we don't really get much sleep. Some people say we're supposed to get 8 to like 8 hours or so, something like that. You know, and I know what depression is when you're in a deep depression. Man, all you want to do is lay the fuck down. That's all, because you literally want to escape the fucking world. You like, this can't be life. And you go to, you know, and you go to sleep. So what sleep is going to do? Sleep is going to, you know, it's going to help relieve a lot of that depression. You know, not such as, you know, when you're depressed and just sleeping in the bed all day. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, instead of being on over the phone a lot of times and things of that nature, you know, what you want to do is you want to get you some sleep. Sleep is going to help because it takes a lot of stress off your mind. a lot of stress. Sometimes with myself, such as myself, when I experience depression, sometimes I do sleep, but I make sure, I get enough sleep at nighttime. Not during the day. I might like take a nap and okay, let me snap up out of it. Let me snap up out of this. And sometimes I have to speak life into myself and let myself know who the fuck I am and things of that nature. And then at nighttime, I make sure I may listen to I might listen to somebody who I find inspiring, maybe like a motivational video, somebody who may, somebody who might be a great speaker and things of that nature. Or sometimes I may go into meditation. Woo, that's a good one, going into meditation. And then that'll help you get some sleep, That was 4. Number 5, listening to either affirmations or subliminal affirmations. This is going to definitely help. This is what actually this is how I came up with the name Supreme Confidence. Listening to a subliminal affirmation. Telling me, not even telling me, reminding me who the fuck I am. What this does is listening to affirmations, period, or listening to positive affirmation, it programs the subconscious mind, telling it how it should feel. It implants messages, kind of like how when you're listening to your favorite song, your favorite rap song, or some shit like that, and you'll hear them in the background, when they saying something, like they could be saying a bar or some shit like that, like in their verses, and then they'll say something like, yeah, take that, or like P. Diddy, yeah, take that. Those are like subliminal messages or affirmations and things of that nature. It's more so you speaking life into yourself. It's like, yeah, we unstoppable. We the best. Like DJ Khaled, he could be saying something in his line, or like Future could be saying something in his line or some shit like that, and he'd be like, yeah, I'm the man, or yeah, I'm that person. You want to listen to positive affirmations like that. Subliminal works the absolute best. It takes your confidence to the all-time high. Trust and believe me. And you want to listen to that throughout the day. So, do take that with you. I hope that this podcast finds you. Because like I said, somebody out here needs to hear this message. This is transformation. This is Tuesday. What I like to call Transformation Tuesday. And we are all in this together. We are all in this together. So I'm going to cut this short, and I'm going to end off this podcast on that. Make sure that you like and subscribe to this channel, and also share this podcast with someone who may need to hear this. Doesn't matter who. It doesn't matter who. So peace and love to everyone. I send you peace, love, light, happiness, joyfulness, and prosperity. And we'll see you next time.